Hello guys, welcome to Gregington Gaming. Today's video on free-to-play Rise of Kingdoms. As you can see, we're on day 63 here in our account, pushing 10.5 million. And we're going to interrogate the important question of how should you be spending your AP at this stage of the game, specifically as a free-to-play player. Well, AP at this stage, we have two options. We can either spend it on Barbarians, these pesky little things here, or we can spend it on Barbarian forts. We can also not spend it at all, but that's lazy and a very bad thing to do. Do not do that, spend all your AP. So, 1500 AP a day plus the claim extra for an extra 500, and it will replenish throughout the day. You've probably got about 3000 AP a day to work with. I'm sure someone's done the maths, and it's not quite that. But anyway, let's just use 3000 as a basis. So how should you be spending this? Well, today's video, as you may see, is sponsored by Castles. And let me tell you unequivocally, the best way to spend your AP as a free-to-play player is by spending it on Barbarian forts. Now, if you're free-to-play, you won't have Minamoto, by definition. Minamoto is the best Barbarian fort rallier. I will do a video soon on which commanders I'd recommend a free-to-play player use to rally Barbarian forts, because we ain't got Minamoto. So, in my previous free-to-play accounts, a long time ago, I was always a bit scared about rallying Barbarian forts. I knew that I wasn't going to have the same advantage other people would. That's okay, you can find some commanders to do it with. As a quick heads up, Boudicca's good, Osman's good. Any commander with a high damage dealing single target skill, which is why Minamoto is so good, is excellent for Barbarian forts. Here we go, Osman's particularly good. He's got 850 direct damage. I think it's 1100 with a expertise. That, for instance, is a very good one. So you do have commanders you can use to do Barbarian forts, and of course, if you've got an active alliance, there should be Barbarian fort rallies going all the time, which you can join in. Now, in order to compare Barbarian forts and Barbarians, I've been doing both today. Oh, I got a gift from the king. I didn't even notice that. I just autopiloted it. Thanks very much, king. Let's see what we get. Yeah, golden key, 15-hour speed up, some food, and a silver key. Thanks very much, my king. Much appreciated. Anyway, today's reports. Here we go. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets of Barbarians with Boudicca. They'd have cost about 270, 268. Yeah, about 250 worth of AP, and I did the same with Lohas. Speed 500 AP worth of stuff. And what do we get? We got 5 minutes, 25 minutes, that's 30 minutes, 55 minutes, 80 minutes, 100 minutes, 104 minutes worth of training from her. From him, just some generic speed ups, not quite as good, but still quite a lot of training. And we got some resources, a few gems, which is always nice, and some books. You compare, so that's 500. So let's say that's 3 fort rallies. Let's compare it to fort rallies, if I can find them. Looks like we cannot. Anyway, 3 fort rallies. My long-winded way of saying that's more experience books, more speed ups, more gems than you will get from doing the fort rallies. For the fort rallies, you get the level 2 resource packs. You typically get about 40, so let's open 40 and see what 40 entails. Yeah, that's what you get from doing 1 fort, about that, which pays for your healing and then some. So resources from doing Barbarian forts are better than doing Barbarians, but you get better speed ups and more gems from doing the Barbarians. However, the big factor, the one thing that's incontrovertible proof that doing Barbarian forts is better, is this little thing here. I'm sure many of you will be upgrading your castle thinking, wow, that's a lot of books. If you're not free to play, you can buy the VIP chests, which contain, there we go, £18 for 1,000 books of the Covenant. Spending money on rocks, always a bit dicey, but that's quite a good deal. More books here, right? Yeah, 2,000 from this one, although I believe it's a lot more. And from this one, another 2,000. So there's 5,000 books right away if you're spending. However, we're not spending on this account, so every book is vitally important, and the only way you get books, I'm sure you will know, is from rallying Barbarian forts. 900 to go from 17 to 18, As we go higher and higher, the book total increases until we get to a required total to get from level 1 of the castle to level 25 is 20,095 books of the Covenant. You will get on average 3 or 4 books every 2 rallies. So let's call it 2 books a rally. So if you're doing 30 rallies in a day, you'll get 60 books. So 60 books, let's work that out. 20,000 divided by 60, you're looking at a year. If you're doing a lot of rallies every day and you've got average luck, you're looking at a year to get enough books to get castle to 25. Well, some of you may ask, well, do I need the castle to 25? I'm not doing rallies. It doesn't matter if I've got a big rally to army capacity. No, completely true. However, if you're ever thinking to get tier 5 troops, you need a level 25 castle. A rock does you there. You also need a level 25 watchtower, which is less problematic. You will accrue these arrows of resistance naturally throughout the game. They are a lot easier to get hold of than the Books of the Covenant, let me assure you. In fact, Books of the Covenant are often the big sticking point that stop people getting to tier 5. They get to a stage with their academy where it's level 24 like mine is. They've researched all the economic stuff, this stuff here to level 9, the rest to level 10. They've researched everything here to level 9. But they do not have enough books to push their castle to level 25, and thus they do not have the ability to get to Academy 25. Another benefit of the Academy 25 is you get a 7% increase to your research speed. Ipso facto, getting your Academy to level 25 as soon as possible is massive, and it's incredibly difficult to do on a free-to-play account. I'm quite pleased that we've managed to get the castle this high so early, but we have a lot of work to do. I am perfectly willing to forego the better speed ups, the better gems, the better commander experience books. That's the one that you get from Barbarians by doing fort after fort after fort. I don't push my action points by using the emergency action points recovery. I save them for Marauders and Marauder Fort. It's a very good time to do them, but I make sure all of my AP every day goes into my castle. I believe there's one insane chap called 12 PvP who managed to get tier 5 in half a year, which is miraculous as a free-to-play player. Like, fair play to him. The level of rallies he must have been doing would have been insane, and basically that's what you need to do if you want to get KVK 3 with anything resembling tier 5. You're going to need to do rally after rally after rally. Barbarians are still important. There are some daily events like this one, Daily Mighty Army, where you get points for defeating Barbarians 30 times. Today I defeated Barbarians 30 times exactly, and then continued on with my quest for books. It may seem like it's a long way away, and that's because it is, but as they say, every long journey starts with one small step. And my one piece of advice to you on the small steps you should take would be to do rally after rally after rally all day. Maybe you can start them, maybe your commanders are good enough, maybe you should be joining other people's rallies and hoping for the best. What I would say is that the fewer people in a rally, the more books you tend to get. You can get up to 5 books a rally if you're doing what they call 1+1 forts, which is someone rally, you join, and there's just 2 people in the rally. You will take more severely wounded in that, so your resources will diminish, but you'll find out as the game progresses, you would trade any amount of resources for these blasted books. So my advice is start early, start today. Forget about Barbarians unless it's a daily quest. If you're in KVK, yes, you want to kill some Barbarians, you get honor points, and then you go through the honor rankings and get more prizes. But as a general rule and as a whole, use all your AP each day on Barbarian forts. You need the books. They are integral. You can buy them. Each book costs 10 gems. So for the 20,095 books you need, that costs over 200,000 gems. Of course, gems are at a premium to us as free-to-play, and we need to put them all in our VIP. Last more than gems, I put them in the castle because I had just enough to do that, and I was looking at the VIP 12 path, which I'm just over halfway there, thinking, ugh, I guess I'll do the castle. I was wrong to do so. I should have just put them in VIP. With free-to-play, you want to get to VIP 10 as quickly as possible, and once you get there, start thinking about VIP 12. 14's a long way off, I'll be honest about that. It's going to take you a long time to get there. It's possible with grinding, but it will take certainly over a year, unless you're absolutely mad and manic and you're farming gems all day, every day. Assuming you're not that, gems should all be going to here. Put some in the wheel for YSG if you want YSG. Other commanders, don't worry about them one bit. Again, my advice. And save your gems for VIP. Use your AP for the for Barbarian Forts and the castle. That, my friends, is today's piece of advice. Before I go, I'd like to thank everyone who's been watching the stream for coming along and doing so. They've been remarkably pleasant to do. And we're getting a burgeoning community of people. I'd like to thank everyone for being so pleasant. It's a lovely experience streaming Rise of Kingdoms with the small but dedicated and friendly people who've been watching me, and I'd like to thank everyone for doing so. If you're enjoying the series, please do drop a like, subscribe, etc., all that stuff. You know the drill. If you don't watch it. No problem. But please, please, please do more rallies. The one thing I complain about in game is not enough rallies. That's not just for my benefit, it's everyone. Unless you're spending gems like they're going out of fashion, you're going to need to put some books in the castle. Start soon and do not repent at your leisure. My friends, that's it from me today. Thanks for watching. Get on your Barbarian Fort rallies.